Mr. Broken Leg and Mr. Broken Body over here, you start the damn thing.
That's the intro.
Yeah.
There it is.
Because we're talking about what it means to be broken. No, I'm just kidding.
Literally.
Yeah, genuinely.
But yeah, it kind of sums it up. We're going into injuries, and that'll be pretty much the topic of discussion for this episode.
Because the little known thing, if you don't know about me and Steve, is we're like, out of our friend group, we have the worst life luck in the sense that I get fucked over by instances that really shouldn't fuck me over, but do accidentally. This guy, on the other hand, life just slaps him with a fish every now and then and tells him to wake the fuck up. And that has taken the form of many injuries for him. Me, not so much. I don't get hurt. I got into, remember the car crash. Everybody always gives me shit about it. I crashed horribly once. Hit a stump, hit a wall, up a hill in the rain, no seatbelt on. Came out completely fine. This man, on the other hand, we'll tell that story when we get to it. But it's your boy Waffles.
And your boy Maui.
And this is
Couch Surfin'.
You want to go ahead and explain?
Which one?
Let's do. You remember the car crash that happened when Breath of the Wild came out? You want to start there?
Oh yeah, when the Switch came out.
Because did it go spine then car accident, or wait, car accident is spine?
So it went. If we're gonna go through the timeline of all my serious injuries, it went lower back, knee. Well, so actually it goes left arm, knee, lower back, then the car accident, and then the spine.
Right. And if you look at mine, it's actually kind of funny. If you look at my really bad injuries, it was just before I hit the age of 10. That, like, I was just fucking myself up. Like, because it was the two bone. I broke my arm in 3 different places on 2 different accounts. Fractured my ankle. My knee problems weren't caused by any real injury. I just have this weird mutation. So yeah, that's it. And all my other injuries don't exist because I'm, again, life likes to help me out in that respect. Life likes to go ahead and say if he did get hurt, he'd just die. Dude, if I broke my leg in the middle of the city, dude, like if I was in the middle of the city and I broke my leg, you'd see me on the sidewalk crawling. People would be like, "What's wrong?" And I'd be like, "I broke my leg and I don't know what to do." That's why life kind of just goes ahead and says, we're not going to hurt him. We're going to teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
You on that? That's not the case.
Not at all. So which story do you want to go into?
Let's just start from, well, I want us to talk about really, like what you learned from being injured. Because you remember, Chris, right?
Yeah.
And when Chris got injured doing MMA, and all the other things, you remember the path he took with that injury. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't remember, actually.
You don't? So let me, my interpretation of it was he, what was it? Was it his leg or his arm? He hurt his shoulder or something really bad, and so he couldn't exercise. And you know how much of how much he loved exercise, right? That was like a really core piece of his life. So for a couple months, he couldn't do anything. Like, he had to stay at home and relax. And with everything that was going on in his life and not having the outlet anymore, it kind of took him down a path. And that's what I want to get into today is, like, what does exercise do for you, and how do your injuries just fuck that up? Like,
well, yeah, we were also talking, like, before the episode even started, like, when you come back from an injury, the mental aspect of, is my leg going to be the same?
Right.
Can I perform at my best? Yeah.
So, like,
there's, like, the mental during the injury where it's like, I can't do this specific sport or exercise that was my outlet. And then after you're able to do it again, it's like, can I even do it at the same level? Or, like, am I not gonna get hurt again.
Right. Cause I'll tell you this right now. You know how bad it is for me when I roll my ankles. You know how bad it is for me. You guys, I'm in crutches. Like I roll my ankle and I'm like, I can't walk on this damn thing for at least a day. Like I went, like I kid you not, I was in my backyard, and if this is the sidewalk, my foot hit the side of it, and I didn't check in time, so it went like this, and that's all that happened. And I fell down, and I scraped like my hands and elbows and whatnot. And my mom came out, and I was hopping on one leg, and the next day I had to go to class. I took my crutches. I was like, fuck this. And then by the end of class, I didn't need my crutches anymore. My ankle was like, okay, dude, like, you're fine. But Lord have mercy, it is like that's a minimal injury.
I was gonna say, see, that's the funny thing, because I used to roll my ankles. I used to get chopped at in soccer every day in tournaments, and then I'd have to play like a game. Like we play games like within like 2 hours of each other.
You know, my dad, he loves soccer.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want me to play because he knew how sensitive my ankles were, and he was just like, listen, if you play with how sensitive your ankles are, you're not going to be able to run by the time you make it to 40. And I was all like, dope.
No, yeah, it gets bad, dude. I used to like sprained ankles were like playing on sprained ankles was a norm, you know, like having bruised up shins and like just destroyed legs. That was normal.
No.
If you didn't play on that, then you weren't a soccer player.
Yeah, fuck that. Like, for those of you watching right now, you guys need to understand something, right? I'm immortal, right? This man's unkillable. he just doesn't like people heard about my car accident. Everybody freaked out, not because they thought I was dead, because they were like, shit, Kendall's like a fucking deer in the forest right now. Like genuinely, they only worried about me because my phone was dead. That was it. They're like, his phone is dead and he cannot contact us, so he's probably gonna make a series of bad decisions before somebody finally gets his ass. And I get that. That's me, and I don't mind that. I love that. That's how you guys show your care. This motherfucker, you hear a phone call. Steve got hurt. Now you can explain it. Explain what you think happens when we get the phone call. Steven got hurt. And I'm gonna let you know now. It's not at all what it's gonna be like for us. But go.
I know. So when you guys find out that I got hurt or that I get hurt, I don't know. Like, I don't think much of it in that sense. I think, like, well, now, you know, like, knowing that, like, I'm the one who always is getting, like, fucking all these serious injuries, or thinking that, like, it's life-threatening or some shit like that. Am I right?
This is what people, when you get hurt, Steve, in the few times you got hurt, it wasn't a quick, like, okay, here's the easiest way to put it. When I get hurt, people are like, so how bad is it? That's the average question I get. How bad is it?
Yeah.
I've gotten several calls about you being hurt, and the question is, I had to ask, is he gonna walk? Can you still walk? Like, is his lower body fine? How's his head? Was there a crack in his skull or whatnot? Like, that's what it's like. Like, I got that call about the car accident, about your car accident. Everybody was at your grandma's house to come see if you were even out of a coma. Like, you didn't go into a coma, but everybody was touch and go for a hot minute. And for me, I got into my car accident. Nobody even came over. Nobody came over. People were mad.
I just heard it from work. I'm pretty sure, like, we were working together at the time, and that's when I heard it.
Yeah, because it's like,
I know. I think I remember that too. I was like, bro, you hit a tree?
I hit a tree stump. It was great. I got so lucky too.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because it was raining when I hit the stump. So when my car hit it, it uprooted the stump, and the stump was sideways, like vertical, with the roots facing the sky, or not the sky, but the side, right? But my car took the brunt of that. Everybody was just mad because they're like, it's going to be expensive as fuck to fix your car. There was no worry on my life. You got into a car accident, and people were like, fuck the car. Like, that car could be a pile of scrap. I don't care.
It fucking was.
It was, really. And nobody gave a shit. They were just like, your mom flew over from Arizona just because they were like, is my son alive? Like, is his brain okay? So let's get into it. So let's start with the beginning injuries for you.
My beginning injuries?
Yeah.
So I didn't get injured until, I mean, like, again, discounting all, like, the rolled ankles and sprained ankles and, like, you know. Like, my first serious injury was my left arm. It wasn't broken, but it was really jacked up for, like, probably, like, 3, 4, like, maybe, like, 2 months, give or take. And so what happened in that incident, I was just playing on the playground, and I was, like, 10? Let's say, like, 10. 10 or 11. No, I was 12. I was 11. I was 11.
11.
So I was playing on, like, you know, like those little roller things at the playground?
Yeah, when
That's
you
on a
hold
track.
on and they
Yeah, you just hold on and it just slides from end to end. So I was on that. Someone pushed me, and, like, I tried to catch my fall with my hands, which is a big no-no.
That's exactly how I broke my arm.
Yeah, and it fucking just, everything just went,
Damn, we all had the same injury because you know how they have like the pull-up bars or whatever. So in second grade, I was on one, and the school bell rang, and I was like, "Fuck!" But I was on the high one. I was like, "I need to get off this." So I let go, but I was like, "Oh, this was not a good decision." So I put my arm out to break the ball, and I fucking like.
You just fucked your shit up, right?
When I looked at my arm, that shit looked wavy, and I was like, "Oh."
When I looked at mine, it just ballooned. Like, it was just like 3 times bigger than what it was. And then the funny thing was, is like, I didn't think anything of it. You know, I let my dad know. He was my baseball coach at the time, and he was like, "Well, can you still play?"
Dude.
And I did.
Fuck that. Quick story time. Two story times. Because I want to tell you guys about my broken arm. Because the same thing. Monkey bars. I got pushed off. I tried to catch.
The small monkey bars, right? The
Yeah.
ones where you climb through.
Yeah, but I tried to break my fall with my arm, and I snapped it. Right. I hear a crack, and I'm like, my arm hurts. And I don't know what happened, but the muscles tensed up, and so it locked into place like this. Me being the dumbass I was like, my arm doesn't extend. And then you hear and I was like, there it is. There it is. Now my arm's fine. I tried to move my hand and it hurt, and I was like, oh, that hurts. All right, well, let me just run over to a playground person, and I'll tell them that my arm hurts. And I went to run, and that hurt like shit. And I was like, what's wrong with my arm? And I go talk to the playground person, and the playground person sees my arm, and I hadn't looked at it at this point, and goes, go talk to Miss Julie. And she was the nurse at our school. And I get to Miss Julie, and I'm holding my arm like this, and Miss Julie sees that halfway down my arm, it's at an angle. so this is my arm. This is the rest of my arm, and then this was the part I broke off. It was just at an angle, and she like our eyes go red. She goes, sit down right here, hold your arm. Here's an ice pack. You know, the fucking frozen sponges. I was so fucking dumb. Like, my arm. So what ended up happening was when I fell, I broke this bone. Right? Because I broke this bone because my arm tried to go in, but the elbow wouldn't go further, so it broke this. And when I extended it, I broke this one. So both bones in my arm were broken, and that was the end of it. I was like, I don't know what's wrong. I wasn't even crying. Nothing was wrong. I didn't cry until I got to the doctors, and they pulled out this big ass fucking needle, and I freaked the fuck out.
Oh yeah, I know that.
You know, on my medical record, the doctors were like, if he ever breaks a bone again, you have to put him to sleep. And that's because genuinely, right? That day I went to the doctor was full of kids getting their flu shots. But when they pull out the big ass needle to, like, you know, put like the fix the bones or whatever, or like numb the anesthesia, the numb the arm so they could put it into place. It wasn't like a it was screaming at the top of my lungs. And after that, the doctor said every single kid that came in after me freaked the fuck out. So they were like, if he breaks a bone again, you put him to sleep, and then you apply anesthesia, at least until he's old enough to understand not to freak out in front of you. And I forgot the second story.
So actually, I've had a few injuries even before the arm. So I've chipped my tooth playing soccer at school because we didn't have grass. We played on the blacktop.
Garbage. Dumb idea. I don't know why that is.
Dude, soccer was life at that time. But so I was being a dumbass for sure. I was like standing on the ball. And again, same thing. Some kid got jealous, pushed me over. I think my hands were in my pockets or something, and I just fucking fell on my face. And so this is a fake tooth right here. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad.
You know, one time I got hit in the face with a basketball, and I was trying to bite skin off my lip, and so my lip was like this, and the ball just went and jammed my lip into my teeth. It's one of the more like cringy pains, not like pain.
No, I know what you mean. That's happened to me in soccer. I had braces. And some fool just elbowed me in the face, and like you like see all up here was like just gashed up.
Yeah,
just looked bad. But I almost lost my eye like when I was like 8.
How? Just imagine you with an eye patch. What happened? I was 8 years old. Some guy stabbed me.
So you know my living room, right?
Yeah.
Like, so down that hallway, me and my brother used to play hockey.
Right.
And we have a propane tank. And usually propane tanks have like handles where you can like lift them and grab them. And it's just literally metal that's curled up. Like, and like I was messing around and I tripped and fell and I just fucking banged my fucking head. So I have like a bunch of scar. I have a scar, I think, in this side of my eyebrow. I had like 10 stitches.
Yeah. Actually happened to my friend once. We were playing and he fell into the corner of like a glass dresser, a glass topped dresser.
Yeah.
And it just barely missed his eye.
Yeah, same. Like literally like right here. Like any lower, it probably would have like lost an eye. So I love my eyes too. Just saying. But
your eyes are like one of your biggest selling points. And like I remember when I first met you and me being the homie I am, try to get, the deets from my homeboys. What girls think about them when they're straight or whatever. So retro. But no, yeah, man, your eye, like people would always be like, dude, have you seen Steve's eyes? I remember though. You remember Maddie's only complaint about this guy's eyes. They're so round.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they're fucking spheres in our fucking head. Yeah, they're gonna be fucking round. I get we have these things on eyelids that make a shape, but for the most part, these are fucking balls in our fucking head. That's all they are. So yeah.
So my very first major injury, that's probably gonna be with me for life, was I played football in high school. So my sophomore or freshman year. I wasn't even playing in a game. Like this was
freshman year.
Might have been. I think you're right. So I was that dumbass that was like, oh, I'm gonna go after the guy who's been playing football for his whole life. Like I'm gonna take him on. And I would every day at practice to the point where like my back got fucked up. So what I got was 2 bulging discs in my L4, L5. So, and they couldn't do any invasive surgery on it to like mitigate it.
Yeah.
So what they made me do was just like strengthen my core muscles to take like a lot of the tension off my back. So if I don't like keep up with that, then like I get a lot of like lower back pain really fast. It gets really irritating.
Okay.
So yeah, that was at 13 or 14.
Like, because my family's a big football family.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny because I was born, and obviously they're like, "What sports is he gonna play? What's he gonna do?" Like, oh my god, like
cross country,
dude. No, oh yes, cross country. But like my my uncle, right, my cousin Malik, he plays football.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, "Yeah, are you gonna have Kendall play football?" And I was like, "Yeah, Mom, you're gonna have me play football?"
I
And
could never imagine it, bro.
you could,
I could not
my
imagine.
mom.
In 1 year.
No,
Flag,
that was
right?
flag football.
Flag
That was
football.
flag football. Flag football is the optimal football for me because genuinely, I'm not gonna get taken down.
Maybe two-hand touch.
Maybe two-hand touch, but like genuinely, because like flag football, I'm a very good long distance runner, sort of. I used to be. Now I haven't run in fucking years, so like I can do sprints, but for the most part, I'm not this big guy and these strong guys that are gonna take me down. They're not gonna fucking hurt me. They're just gonna grab my flag and gonna be like, "Let the bitch ass run." Okay, I'm good. But Lord have mercy, you never saw me as a child, Steve. But if like sticks had sentience.
No, I've seen you. We used to play basketball against you.
Yeah. I was a fucking twig.
You were just very tall.
Can you imagine? Like, what would I even do if I was a fucking running back? Lord have mercy, I'm dead. They just gotta take me down once. That's my whole career. I can't throw for shit. So quarterback was out of the question.
Your best shot. I think your best bet would have been like wide receiver. If you're
My best
fast.
bet would have been football team manager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Water boy.
Yeah, like that sort of deal. I'm not. No. So. But what I find hilarious is, those like people in like TV shows where like they walk in and they're all scarred and bruised, but they're big as fuck, and they're like, "What? Like, what are your stories?" They're like, "Too many to tell.
Yeah.
Got this scar from a battle on the river, and this scar on the conquest of whatever." That's you, because you're the guy that shows up, looks for the biggest, strongest guy, and goes, "I just got to gauge myself real quick, real quick. I just got to know if I needed to, could I take him?" And I don't know why you ask that question so often. You've never found a single time where the answer was no. That wasn't incredibly obvious. Like, it's not like if The Rock walked through the door right now, you'd still be like, "I could take him." But obviously the answer would be no. But you would still try, and that's you. I am the guy that looks at The Rock and goes, "Do you need a hot towel?"
Yeah.
That's
Well, come on in.
I'm like, "Yeah, house is yours. I'll be back around 4:30. No pressure. Just don't bother me or my neighbors."
Yeah. So my second really biggest injury was my left knee, right? So I was going into my junior year. So I was sophomore summer, or that junior leading into junior year, and I was again still into soccer. At this point, I was like trying to be a prospect to get recruited by a college, and we were in this big tournament where a lot of college scouts were at, and so we played at the time the number 1 team in the nation. And so my coach puts me in, and I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, I'm about to go show up. What's up? I'm about to show him up. And so I did that. I was like burning fucking rubber, because I was like one of the fastest people, at least on my team, right? So I was just like fucking just tearing up the field. And this guy just fucking cheap shots me, and I lose my fucking balance, and I try to land on my right foot, but I like misjudged the ground. And so my left foot just straight legged, just took all the impact.
No.
And so I didn't hear a pop. Usually when you tear your ACL, you hear like a popping. I didn't hear any pop, but I fucking went down like fucking that, like gunshot, dude. Like, I just went down and I couldn't get up. And dude, it was so funny because both of my coaches, everyone in the fucking state, or the fucking on the sidelines, fans, were like, "Get up! We all know you're fucking diving. Get the fuck up!" And trust me, I'm not the one to dive or anything like that. I play fucking honest soccer. And I was like, no, I can't. I had to get carried off the field.
Dude.
Yeah.
I know so many people who have torn their ACL. And my God, it is the scary dude. So let me tell you this story, right? First of all, I want to let you know Addison. Did you hear about his sister? His sister was like statewide cheerleader, like
Yeah, I knew that. I
Yeah.
knew that about her.
Right. So she tore her ACL, but here's how it happened. She did a flip. She landed it. Well, she fell, but she was fine. She gets up and she's like, my leg feels weird. She goes to take a step, just hits the ground.
Yep.
And
Yep. Sounds about
and like
right.
it's fucking. And then my uncle also tore his maybe ACL, or what's the one that starts with an M?
MCL.
The MCL. Okay. Are they all just something CL?
Yeah. PCL, LCL, MCL, ACL.
Right. And so that's what I wanted to get into. I knew a guy named Viet. Viet was on the varsity basketball team at my school. I felt so bad for him and people cried when he got injured because here's what happened. He was the shortest guy on the team, but he worked out like a fucking monster. This was back before we had this guy Joseph transfer to our school who was a football player, so he was built.
Mm-hmm.
But before he transferred to the school and we would do weight practice at school, Viet couldn't exercise with anybody else but me because that was when I was a little bit like you and I was all like, no matter what, I'm going to match the strongest guy in the room.
You were like that every time we went to the gym.
Yeah. I was like that. And then I realized the beauty of a dad bod. It is, change. I have donuts for breakfast. I don't do that anymore.
Bangs in the morning.
I saw that actually thing. It was like breakfast for average people, and it's like cereal and fruit, and it was breakfast for champions. And it's a fucking vape and an energy drink. But no. So that was Viet. He always worked hard in the weight room, but he never got to play.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally put him in. We were like 30 points ahead in this game, and we put him in. And he was trying so hard to prove himself. The ball's about to go out of bounds. He runs after it. He takes it. He twists. He throws the ball back in. And everybody's like, yeah, we got the ball. And then he hit the ground. And we were about to start playing, but then he didn't get up. He tore every single ligament. He tore the MCL, PCL?
MCL, PCL, LCL, ACL.
Okay.
He probably just tore like ACL, MCL, and PCL.
Yeah. He tore those three. In one move. In one game. This was like the fourth game of the season. This is the first time he got in all season, and he fucking tore it. Tore all three.
Oof.
I felt so bad for the guy.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is about when I tore my ACL?
Mm.
So like after it was all said and done, I was able to like put a little bit of pressure on it. I had it all wrapped up and everything like that. And my coach, so I played for like three teams, My coach was like, we still have that other tournament. I need you to go over there and play. That was the one time, I'm pretty sure that was the only time I was like ever like, Coach, I don't think I could do it this time.
Fuck that. Dude.
But here's the fucking kicker though.
Yeah.
So like I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to urgent care to see what this shit is. See if it's an ACL, because like let's hope it's not. So I went straight to urgent care to go get it checked. The doctor was like, oh no, you probably just strained a couple muscles. Should be good in like 2 weeks. All right, cool. 2 weeks, like, so I started I took 2 weeks off, went back to practice. The shit was still like ballooned as fuck. I was practicing on a ballooned ass knee. Every time I would turn and cut, like, I would just give. And so we had another tournament. And this was like District Cup. So for like one of the teams, it was like our biggest tournament that they had. And like I played goalie the whole tournament.
I wanna go back to,
we won every game. I didn't get scored on, so.
I just want to go back to a previous episode, and I want to change something I said. We said you were who in the Avengers universe?
Captain America?
Doesn't fucking matter. He's Thor. He's Thor. Thor is the guy who shows up and goes, I can take him. I can take him. He could be beat the fuck up. I can take him. When he was fat and he had to fight Thanos, not even a question. He just stood there like, as long as we're all on the same page and he went for it. That's you. That's 100% you. Me, on the other hand, I played basketball against my uncle who tore his ACL. This is post tearing his ACL. We were playing basketball. He did this quick move where I'm behind him, and he just jabs me with his fucking shoulder like that. Knocked the fucking wind out of me. I was like, nah, fuck that. That's all you, man.
Yeah, I think aside from like ACL, the Achilles is probably like one of the worst
Dude,
injuries
that's
ever.
one of the
One of
worst.
my friends that I go like tricking with, they were like a few years ago. I think it's almost been like 2, 3 years now. They were doing like tutorial videos, so they're at this gym and he was like doing this one move. He did the move and he landed. He's like, "What the fuck? Who kicked my leg? Or like who threw something at my leg?" And we were all like, "Bro, no one touched you." And he was like, "My fucking like the ankle, like the back of his foot, just
Yeah.
felt hella off." And he tore his Achilles, and he was like a whole year. He was like on crutches, and then he had to wear a boot and like all
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah. That is one of my that's one of my biggest fears. Because the thing is, I have this dumb mutation in my leg, and it's sort of in my arm too, but it's a different thing, right? Where I have to keep my limbs extended for as long as possible, or else, like if I keep my leg like this for like a couple weeks and I always keep it bent, the ligament right here starts acting up, and so when I go to extend my leg, it's almost like every single time I'm overextending the ligament. So this is an intense, like deep pain that slowly approaches,
Yeah.
peaks, and then comes down, and it's the worst. You probably know it.
Yeah, my left leg, dude, I have all kinds of problems
I
with
mean,
my
you're
left
like
leg.
an encyclopedia of pain, quite frankly.
So to kind of switch gears a little bit, so
Let me tell my last
okay.
Yeah.
big
Well,
injury
he still needs
story.
to get to the spine.
That was the last one.
Oh, okay.
So the spine, you guys weren't there for that. I was in Arizona. I was there for like it just been like maybe like 6 months in, and so I have family out there, and they wanted to go hang out at the lake. I was like, all right, cool. So I drove down to the lake, went to go meet them, and at this time I was already like 2 years into rock climbing, and I saw this big ass cliff, and I was like, I think I could climb it. And so I did. I got to the top, and I was like, that felt like maybe 120 feet. You know, I looked down. Everyone looked like dots. And my intention wasn't to jump, but soon became that. So I did. And so when I hit the water, you're supposed to like hit it as straight as possible.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who jump from that height and can do it. And so I tried, but like I was in free fall for so long, or it felt like forever. I like kind of panicked, and I like landed like kind of like that.
You kind of squatted.
So like it was kind of like I was like this, but like bent back like that a little bit. And so when I did that, all that impact went straight to my spine. So I broke my spine, didn't know it, but like I knew something was fucked up. I didn't know it was my
And
spine.
you swam back to shore, didn't you?
No, there was we luckily had stand-up paddle boards. So right when I hit the water, I knew something was wrong, and I told my cousin, I was like, "Yo, give me that! So give me the paddle board. I need it right now." So they did, and I did swim back. I was just laying on the board, just like this, just paddling with my hands until I got back to shore. And then I didn't want anyone to know I got seriously hurt. So I couldn't move, dude. I couldn't move for the life of me. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna chill in the water, like right where the water meets like the steps. Just gonna chill here and try and act nonchalant. So I did that for like 30 minutes. And then I had like my uncle or my aunt come check on me periodically, like, hey, you good? We're about to go have food. Like, you wanna come join us? And I was like, no, I'm pretty good right here, I just feel really comfortable here, trying to blow it off. And then I didn't drive home. I drove to my grandparents' house because my parents weren't home. So I was like, I called them up and I was like, yo, I got fucking hurt. I didn't tell them that it was from the lake. I told them it was from rock climbing. But anyways, yeah, I drove to my grandparents, and my grandpa is a doctor. So he was like, yeah, we should go to the hospital. And I was like, okay, go to the hospital, get x-rays. And they're like, yeah, you fractured your spine here and here. Right, it's like the thoracic, so like the T12. So like that's like your last thoracic
You mean
joint.
like that's the bottom one?
No, so it goes cervical, which is your head, right? And then after that it goes thoracic, which is the middle of your back, and then at the bottom is your lumbar.
Oh, okay.
So it's like right where the lumbar meets the thoracic, that's where So like I have like 2 injuries generally in the same area. But yeah, I had to wear like a big ass back brace for like 8 months. But it was cool because, like, you know, I stay fit. So my doctor was like, you know, usually we had to do surgery to fix these, you know, like put some glue to like keep it held. But because your core is so strong, I don't think we need to do that. It's like
Yeah.
working out pays off, bro.
Yeah, when you're injured, having a healthy body pays off. If you're me and you get injured, you're just dead. Just accept death and move on.
So, kind of like so transitions from like the physical aspect to like the mental. So I don't know if you're familiar with this person, but like Derrick Rose in the NBA is
Oh
like
yeah.
super known for his like back-to-back knee injuries and then like Achilles and like all this stuff.
He's also known to be like one of the youngest MVPs.
Yeah, like basically injuries like fucked up his career and stuff. Like
For
he's still
sure.
doing good now, but like it took him a
Yeah,
while.
he pops off. He really does.
Like it
Like
took him a while to kind of get used to like stepping back again. And I want to say like 2019 summer, like summer through fall, I had two back-to-back injuries. Like one of them was like my knee. So like I was doing like a front flip, and a front flips are blind landing, so you can't see where you're landing. And I accidentally like extended one leg straight, so it was just gonna be like a straight leg impact into the ground. But I pulled it back in time, so I just had a bruised knee. And then I had like an ankle injury that put me up for like hella long. I don't know why this one was super bad. But like when I came back, it was super tough to just be like, can I even do these moves again? Or like, I don't even want to touch that one move that hurt me because I don't know if it's gonna happen. Or like, I can't jump the same height I used to, like for the first few weeks, just because my ankles weren't used to it.
yeah.
So how did you go about it for your like injuries for like your ACL and stuff like that?
So
the mental process.
So the first big one, my lower back, I couldn't kick my legs, and I played soccer, so that one I just literally fought through it. But so the ACL was actually my worst one, I would say, in the sense of like mental like fortitude, because literally I was in a chair. I was literally sitting in a chair for like 6 months. I was in a wheelchair for like 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then I was on crutches for like 5 or 6 months, or no, like 3 months or so. But dude, just sitting in the chair, not being able to like do the shit you love, really killed it. Like my mindset wasn't shot at that point because I still had like the goals of like trying to make it onto a college soccer team. So I was like, oh, dude. And my doctor was always reinforcing that idea. He was like, oh yeah, 6 months you'll be back to normal. I was like, all right, bet. So it didn't take like it didn't hit hard first go around, you know? Like the waiting was definitely the worst part because I was like, I just want to be back. I want to get stronger. Like all this time that I have to heal up. Everyone else is getting that much better. But the shitty part is like after that 6 months came around, my first practice back into it, I fucked my knee up again, and that's when the mental really hit because I was like, he said it was gonna be normal, but it's not. You know, all my doctors and my physical therapist says like my legs are like as strong as they once were, so like I don't know if I could play at the same level as I could, and that really took a turn for the worst for me in the sense that like I kind of lost the love of soccer and I like gave up on the idea of going to college to play, and yeah, like I had a couple scholarship opportunities that got revoked because of it. So I mean that all took like a huge toll. Um, but like a lot of people make it happen. Like Derrick Rose is a great example of that. Like even though he's been fighting off injury, he's still in the NBA, puts up good numbers. You see a lot of quarterbacks who like get messed up. Some don't make it. A lot of them do though. You know.
I also think it kind of sucks, like, if you do get, like, a leg injury, like, people have to help you out more because you can't really move around and stuff. Or, like, if you're on crutches, like, someone's got to carry your books to school.
Crutches were the most inconvenient.
Bullshit. You remember when I was in 7th grade and I broke my ankle? That entire fucking summer, I had a broken ankle. These bitches, I mean, no, I had very nice friends, so they're always like, come out with us and have fun. But when you're in line or you want to get on a ride, you got to put your crutches somewhere.
Yeah.
Honestly, I put my crutches over my shoulder and I just hopped on one leg throughout Great America once. Like I just for a full day hopped.
Oh, dude,
on one
yeah.
leg.
Like,
Yeah, you get it.
Crutches suck.
They suck. They
You
hurt
move so
me.
slow, and I'm like a fast-paced guy sometimes, so I was like, nah, I could just fucking hobble this bitch.
I just do the hop where you swing as far as you can, you do a quick hop, and then you do another giant leap. That's how I.
Well, it's like a big jump and then a little one to like.
To get your balance right, ready for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember, like, for example, it's like, so at our school in 7th grade, you had to basically host the 8th graders for their, like,
Oh yeah, the fucking the luncheon.
Yeah, or like the dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
People graduating.
Yep.
So our teacher was literally like, "Don't anyone do anything stupid to where you can't make this event or whatever, because you're mandatory have to be there."
Yeah.
This fucker broke his leg, so he walked in. He's like, "Yeah, so I'm in crutches. I guess I can't fucking like be a part of the thing or whatever." And our teacher was not having. He's like, "Nah, you're gonna stand out there in your crutches and hand out the pamphlets to parents." As
Yeah, I was the greeter at, like those greeters at Walmart. Like, I'm that guy. I'm just like, welcome to St. Justin's. Have a great dinner. Here's your pamphlet. Here's this. Here's blah blah blah. And then right when that was done, they were like, go home. Everybody else had to serve food, like get everything set up. I was just literally standing there, just like, it sucks that I'm in crutches right now.
You know how stubborn I am, right? So like when I was on crutches, I didn't let anyone get my backpack.
Dude, no.
I would not having it. And you remember that building that only had a staircase? So there was like no elevator. It was an older building at high school.
Yeah, I think it's like the.
It was like where we had a religion, one of our a lot of religion.
Yeah.
I had to fucking go up that shit every other day, dude. I was in a wheelchair. I just couldn't show up to class because they wouldn't accommodate.
Yeah.
I hate going to the doctor. Like when I get hurt, I'm like, all right, my ankle's sprained or like my knee's bruised, whatever. I'm not going to the doctor. I just remember that one time with the front flip. Like my friend, luckily he had crutches in his car, so he gave me the crutches, and we always go to BJ's after sessions or whatever. And I was just walking in, like in the crutches, like hoppling in, and they're like, "Are you okay, dude?" I'm like, "This shit hurts, but I'm still trying to get food and shit."
Dude, I only hate going to the doctor now because I'm at that point in my life where the doctors. So like my arm, right? My arm's bullshit problem is, I don't stretch it enough. Like I never thought me not stretching, because I don't stretch, was ever going to be a problem. But they were like, well, you primarily use your right arm, right? I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay, so your problem with your left arm is since you don't use it as much, the ligaments are shortening, and you have this cyst, this benign cyst in there that's probably going to cause you some discomfort. And I was like, and that's just from not using it? And they're like, yeah, like, what are you, a programmer? And I was all like, yeah. And they're like, do a lot of work on the laptops, don't you? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, you sit like this, don't you? And I was like, yeah. Because when I work, I put my laptop on my belly. But since
so he's even like this, he's like this.
Like, yeah, genuinely, like the screen's here, and I'm just like, like that. So they're all like, that's your problem. It's why I don't go to the doctor, because I know every single time I go to the doctor now, they're just gonna be like, use your body more. And I'm like, ugh. I work so hard to maintain like a fair enough diet to not be overweight.
You're Mr. Bare Minimum. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, bare minimum gets the same results as normal minimum, and even sometimes it gets the same results as maximum. So like, it's all mentality thing.
I definitely know, like, as you get older, like, you don't recover as fast from injuries and stuff. And, like when I was younger, I wouldn't really warm up too much before playing sports.
Dude.
But now, I gotta make sure I stretch, my ankles are cool.
I take like 30 minutes. Like, if I'm doing a workout, if I'm doing something super intensive, I at least give myself at least 20 to 30 minutes to fucking limber up.
Like, sometimes, like, even when my ankles aren't fucked up or whatever, when I bring my bag, I'll just put my ankle brace in there for, like, basketball
Just in
stuff,
case.
Just in case.
That's me.
I can never wear low-top basketball shoes because it's not enough protection, like all that stuff.
Bro, dude.
I see all people rolling their ankles in that shit.
There was
dude.
this one time. Actually, I want to tell this story. There was two stories. One time, right, I was playing basketball and I forgot my basketball shoes at home. So I went to my coach. I was like, listen, I don't have my shoes. You know me, I'm really quick to just be like, I tried, coach. I really tried, but I just messed up
Did you
today
play
and
in
I
his
can't play.
boat shoes?
What?
Did you play in your?
I played in shoes like that. I played in
what, like
shoes
Vans?
yeah. Because my mom was all like, "Here's some Adidas, like the low top Adidas, like these. You see these?
Oh, it's like Sambas?
Like these are Pumas, right?
Yeah.
So I had something like these, but they were a little lower, and so I was like, I don't know what you want me to do, coach. I tried my best, but I don't have my shoes, and you know my ankles. And my coach looked me dead in the eye and went, "We have tape." And I kid you not, there was like fucking 3 layers of tape
Oh yeah.
on my ankles, and they were like, "Get in there, boy." I was like, "Guess I'm playing in these." And the entire team we were playing against looked at my shoes and went, "Oh, you idiot." And we played, and I was like, I didn't roll my ankle that game, and I was praying to God the whole time, because here's the only time I ever really did anything when I really wasn't supposed to, not due to an injury, but because I was sick. I had a temperature of 101, right? I was coughing, like serious coughing. Like I would play I would play a quarter. The rest of my team would go off to huddle up, and I'd be in the middle of the court, like, like coughing out my lungs. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor takes my temperature, looks at my sheet, looks at the temperature, and just eyes go wide. And I was like, "What's wrong?" She was like, "You know how I walked in and you gave me that greeting, and the greeting was I was laying on the bed and I was like dying, and she walks in and I shoot straight up. I'm like, 'Hey, nice to meet you. How you doing?' And she looks at me, looks at the sheet, and goes, 'You should not even. You should be in so much pain right now. Like, you shouldn't even be able to fucking like. You shouldn't have the energy you have. You should be like on your deathbed.'" And then there was this other time where I was a kid and I was running up and down the hallway of a doctor's office,
Mm.
and I had pneumonia. And my doctor looks at the sheet and then is listening to me run up and down the hallway because I'm bored, and goes, "How the fuck is your?" Looks at my mom and goes, "How the fuck is your son breathing?" Like, his lungs are so full right now. I don't know how he's breathing. And they're like, "Well, either way, take these antibiotics so it'll get out of his system. He should be fine. Because if he's not going down now, I don't think he's gonna go down at all." And so that's the only time I ever actually had to work through anything. Really was when I'm sick, and I just don't go down when I'm sick because I have this process where whenever I'm hurt, I test the pain periodically. Right. So with this, if I pull my arm, a lot of pain. A lot of pain. So once every couple hours, I stretch my arm and then I pull on it.
Oh, less pain.
Right. I'm like, less pain right now. Good. All right. I'm
Keep
making
on.
progress. So after a few days, it goes away. Or I make an ass of myself and I eventually go and say, all right, scheduling a doctor's appointment, fixing this shit. And I schedule the doctor's appointment, and I kid you not, an hour or two later, the pain's just gone. Like, whatever problem I was having, my body was like, "Thank you for scheduling that doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
I can finally relax." Pain's gone. And I hate it.
I would do that with my knee before I knew it was torn. And it was like, okay. They said a couple weeks, let's test it out. And I just like bend it and like walk on it and do a bunch of shit. Be like, okay, not ready yet. It's only been 7 days. I guess I could wait 7 more days. 7 more days will come later. I'm like, okay, still hurts like last time. Maybe she meant 3 weeks.
Fuck that. When I fractured my ankle, I got up, I walked off. I walked it off. I was like, "Hurts right now, but it's swelling, the pain's going away. It'll be okay." Mom picks me up. I kid you not, I laid on the couch and did not get off the couch for 2 straight days. And my mom went, "Nah, let's take you to the doctor." And then they went, "Yeah, his ankle's fractured. We're just gonna put a boot on it." And during that time, which was 7th grade, we had the 7th grade retreat, and I still had the cast on it. And there were 2 times when I had my ankle broken, where that was the injury I had where I did just go, "Fuck this shit." What is it? A crack in my bone? Ah! Bullshit. It's not broken all the way through. It's not broken at all. This bitch right here was like, Kendall, I have an idea. They all wanted to go swimming.
Yeah, so at my apartment there's this swimming or like a pool.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we'll all go swimming, and we're like, well, you could just sit on the fucking what is it called, like
The
The
edge.
steps.
no, not even the steps. They have like those chairs where you can just lay and like
Oh,
tan or whatever.
the sun beds or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So we're like, you can just chill there and we can just whatever. And then he was like, after a while, I think he got antsy, and we were like, okay,
I got so
we got
bored.
an idea. So what we did is we took a fuck ton of trash bags, and then we like wrapped it around the cast and tied it, and we're like, okay, this looks like it'll keep the water out.
Right. But here's the problem. In order to get the trash, I was so bored, right? So I wasn't just gonna sit there and wait for them to get the trash bags. So I went with them, but we didn't bring my crutches. So we put all the trash bags, and we didn't wait till we got back to the pool to put the trash bags on. We put the bags on my ankle, on my cast, at the apartment, and then walked back. So he has like a stone path.
Yeah.
So by the time I got back to the pool, all the bags had holes in them. So I got in the pool anyway, and this was like the last day before I was gonna get the cast off, or like I had 2 more days before I got the cast off. And we went to the pool, we have a great time, and then my mom comes pick me up to take me to the doctor
Mm.
because they want to do some checks before they remove the cast. So they notice the cast is wet, so they're like, we have to take it off and check something. They take it off and they find this purple line going down my foot, and they're like, okay, so you lose the right to have a cast now. And I was like, why? What's wrong? He goes, if you would have stayed in that pool for half an hour or longer, or if we would have left the cast on for the last 2 days, that would have opened up into a sore. We would have had to take your foot. Like that would have opened up, infected, and gone septic, and you would have had to lose your whole foot. So you don't get a cast anymore. You get the boot, and you get 2 more weeks of the boot before you're allowed to go. Before you're allowed to go and get it off. But by the second week, we had 8th grade retreat. And 8th grade retreat was at this giant like fairgrounds, or not fairgrounds, but it was like this park with like a pool and the and volleyball courts. And all
Oh
this
yeah,
stuff.
Saratoga.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about though.
Right. So we go there.
I might have fucking ran into a few of you there too. Shoot.
No, it was only our class that day.
No, there was a few classes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think a lot of classes, because there was a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
I mean, a bunch being like 4 or 5
Like
classes
school
of 36 people.
Right, yeah, like private schools. But so I get there, and about like an hour into that, I was like, fuck this. I'm not walking around for the rest of the day in my crutches. So I just walked around on my boot. For the whole day, I just walked around on my boot. My ankle hurt like shit the next day, but like I was like, worth it. That was the only injury I was like, I'm just gonna ignore. I'm just gonna ignore the pain. It was, and god dang, those were the only times I ever took it. My injury ever got to the point where they're like I had this black doctor, and I loved her because every single time there was something wrong with my ankle, she was always working. So she knew my face. And the first couple times she was like, hey, nice to meet you. This is cool. Like, oh, welcome back. Nice. Towards the later end of my ankle, she was just like, she looked at my mom and like, what happened? And they were like, nothing. I think the doctor just said it's time to get his cast off. And then she was like, oh, okay. But the couple times before that, she was like, you're dumb. You're dumb. Stop fucking acting like you're a model. You're a kid. You're dumb. Stop it. She got so fed up because I stopped going just because the doctor was like, time to come in. I started going because every so often there would be something wrong with the boot or my cast or something, and they're like, you fucking idiot kid.
That was me with my braces, dude. I would always break a
dude.
bracket like every month, dude. They hated me at one point.
Dude,
They're like, what the fuck did you do this time? I was like, I was eating a chip and it got stuck in between the two and just popped one off.
I remember one time I tried fucking tearing. You know the permanent retainer.
Yeah.
I didn't know they put cement on the back teeth.
Yeah.
I took a fucking spoon, wedged it between my gums in the front and I just went, "Ah! Get off my mouth!" And so I got it halfway off before my mom came to pick me up and looked at it and went, "Motherfucker." Because that day, it literally went like this. It went, go to the dentist. Mom had something to do. Drop me off at her godmother's house, or my godmother, Trudy. And Trudy left me alone to watch TV in her daughter's room. And that's what I did. So same day, I got the thing fucking put on. And it just hurt so much. I was like, nah.
Fuck this shit.
And I was, fuck this shit. It hurts so bad. And I was like, I know it hurts more when I try to pull it off, but I'm going to fucking get this thing off. I got it halfway off. And my mom went, takes me back. And the dentist goes, this isn't the first time we've seen this. But, you got pretty far. Good job. Good job. Tighten it, push it back down. Like, tighten it, put the cement, push it back down. And they're like, now this time, don't fucking tear it out.
So wait, yours was the ones that were like wired, that had the wires in the back molars?
Yeah, so the clamps are in the back molars, and then there's a wire that goes in the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I took a spoon.
Just pried it open.
And I bent the whole thing.
So mine was just like a piece of wire that just connected the front front 4 bottom teeth, and I hated that thing, dude. The moment I had the opportunity to get rid of it, I did.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Yeah, like, see, the long story short, pain is inevitable in life, as we all know, but don't be an idiot like me and him, okay?
Whoa.
No.
I'm a dumbass.
Idiot, dumbass.
No, I'm a dumbass, not an idiot.
Whatever. It's like you could call me stupid, but don't call me dumb.
Yeah.
Don't be like us.
What was the Patrick quote? I may be stupid, but I'm not dumb.
Right. Don't be like us. When you're hurt, it fucking sucks. It does. But as you learn, as you get older, it's better to just fuck. Like when you're young and you're immortal, and it's hard to kill you because your body's just growing, so naturally you heal faster. Yeah, I get it. Live wild and free, but learn. Just fucking accept it. It's your boy Waffles
and your boy Maui,
the two broken boys, and this is
Couch Surfing. Peace.